Chapter 1.
She adored New York City.
To her, no matter
what the season was, this was still a town that existed in black and white, and pulsated through the
great tunes of George Gershwin. Like Woody Allen, Manhattan definitely was my muse for the first 35 years of my life. When I started writing my book of short stories, I was playing on a variation of my own experiences and putting a bit of a twist on them, playing with different characters, different neighborhoods, different realities, different time periods, making it something different, something new, something fantastical. It steals from the architecture of Manhattan and the vibes of the era that lent themselves to the city. For example, my friend lived on the Lower East Side in 2009, and we'd often pass by Mayor Lansky's old haunts right down the block. The Jewish gangster had joined forces with his childhood friend, Lucky Luciano, and they got into the bootlegging business. It was one of the spots they used for their operations. It looks unassuming from the side entrance, but going down the alleyway to the back of the building, there's a beautiful speakeasy joint with a tiny back room behind a bookshelf in the wall, and you need to know the secret password to open it up. That inspired in small part the first romantic tall tale of my book, which takes place on the Lower East Side in Little Italy in the 1920s. Another historic moment that I played with in another short story is from 1954, the famous photo shoot with Marilyn Monroe on the set of 7-Year Itch. That scene was taken in front of the old movie theater on 52nd and Lex, so that theater became the setting of the next story inside the small claustrophobic space of the projector's booth in the theater. These short stories and tall tales were written over the course of a few years. It takes from fairy tales and folklore and turns them into mystical, mythical, psychological fairy tales, placing some of the emotional experiences I had into different scenarios, different eras, different time periods. Also playing around with the idea of past lives, or parallel lives, depending on the perception of the concept of time itself. I wrote each of these stories while outside in the city, walking down city streets, sitting in Central Park, sitting in an open atrium, a library, a bookstore, listening to the rumbling of the train cars, feeling the vibrations. It soothes my mind. I really can drift there. All of the sounds serve as a comforting background noise. Most of them were written while I was taking the subway. The projectionist came from the train cars traveling through the tunnels at such a speed. I feel like I'm in a projector reel. I'm watching the strips of film speed past my eyes. Each person on the street walking in a crowd has an entire universe within them, and we can never know their entire story. It all exists inside them, and each universe inside them collides with other universes, other realms of existence, all happening simultaneously. The title from the book came to me as a visual idea. Somehow it made me think of the Manhattan skyline, short and tall, standing on a rooftop just a few stories high and looking out at the horizon of high and low rectangles. Each of these buildings of brick and stone and cement hold hundreds and thousands of tiny rectangles and a million intricate stories. There's a quiet, haunting loneliness that is often present in the crowded, gritty streets of the most popular city in the world. These are the lost souls that can only exist on this tall, mysterious island. Woody's character also has a sort of loneliness. He is unsatisfied, a victim of life, of history, of society, of himself, haunted by a pervasive victim mentality, always harping on the woes of the past, whether it's cultural, familial, religious. And the protagonists in my Manhattan have a similar sort of mentality. There's the man hidden underneath the floorboards of a tenement building on the Lower East Side during the Roaring '20s. There's a story of the man who subway surfs through graffiti tunnels under the crime-ridden streets of Times Square during the '70s. There's the story of a man who lives a secret life among the movie stars of the glamorous '50s. But in each of my short stories, the main characters die in the end, die of a broken heart, of depression, of being stuck in a reality that they refuse to let go of, that they are a victim in the world. We experience these metaphoric deaths constantly. Each time we give in to the weight, the gravitational pull downward into victimhood. And in each new story, he is always given another chance, another life experience to see the truth, to get it right, that he can create his own life. He is sovereign and free. While my main characters are so serious, wanting to escape their realities, run away from their troubles, feeling helpless or hopeless, Woody's character finds humor in it all. He accepts this trait almost heroically. He can step outside of himself and see the absurdity of it all. He can find a way to joke about his own mentality. I like to think Woody's movies are cloaked in a sort of secret truth, that the key to overcoming that kind of thing is transforming it into something positive and new, to make light of it, and most of all, to make art. I think my grandfather understood this as well.
The medicine in magic is in taking people out of themselves. And when they relax, they're lost in a happy fantasy and they're laughing and giggling and having a good time and everything. There's my reward.
Back in 2012, I had put out a call for artists to shoot whatever they thought the title Manhattan Short Stories Tall Tales meant to them, selecting any neighborhood in New York and placing me somewhere inside the frame of their picture. The winner of the contest would have their image on the cover of my book. I was met with so much enthusiasm and inspired ideas for photo shoots. Each artist, each personality is shown in the photographs they took. It was so much fun to see what each person envisioned. They picked the neighborhood, they picked the scene, the time of day, whatever kind of equipment they wanted to use. Street artist Keith, aka Side, photographed me on the Manhattan Bridge and nearby rooftops. Mary Claire even brought a suitcase of costumes for me to wear, and she really wanted to put a magical spin on it. So creative and artsy. We shot over by the Brooklyn Bridge and Chinatown. Oshrat shot me at Lincoln Center, then down near a Hell's Kitchen parking lot. She was really playing around with different angles. With Karen, we were on the fire escape of her apartment in the East Village. That was so much fun. Daniel shot me in black and white film at Grand Central. These are such beautiful, moody shots, playing with the crowds of the bustling train station and natural sunlight. In 2016, Manhattan was selling at Barnes & Noble and Amazon stores online, but my favorite place that housed this book was a local bookshop downtown in Soho. I published 5 different covers for a limited time, but the one that won the contest was by Jeffrey Vach. She adored New York City.